We are on live. Welcome back to all. Hopefully, everyone had a great Passover and a beautiful weekend. Today, we're going to speak about something that everybody struggles with, and that's making the correct decisions. You heard what I just said or no?
Every day.
You're like, Rabbi, come on, it's like, this class is not for me. I make always the right decisions.
No, we don't always make the right decisions. There's no doubt.
First of all, I want to share with you that there's a very beautiful verse in Parsha Bereshit, in chapter 1, in verse 11. It states over there like this, Vayomer Elohim. I want you guys to pay attention to the language. This is in the beginning of creation, on the third day of creation. And there's a lot of ethical teachings we can learn out from this verse. I'm going to just share with you one very critical, important idea. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is, as Richard knows, and maybe most of you guys, but not everybody, I was in Miami this weekend, right? It was like everything happened 1, 2, 3. I was flown out there on Friday morning, and I came back again Monday morning. And you know what I showed you, Garik? That you have people from our community that somehow over here it's easier for them to make the proper choices and decisions, if you understand what I mean. And it's harder for them to make those choices and decisions in the next, in somewhere else, in another place.
Oh yeah, it's
right.
Florida is Yitzhara Central, Rabbi. It's
Yitzhara Central. I think when they saw me, they're like, uh-oh. Well, okay. I was flown there. Not that I decided to go there, but okay. It says over here that Vayomer Elohim Hashem said, Tatsheh Aretz Desha. Listen to this very carefully. Hashem said to the earth that he wanted to sprout with vegetation. And then it says, Esav Mazriya Zera. Listen to this very carefully. Every vegetation should have a seed in it that's going to make more vegetation like itself. Etz pri ose pri limino, and then you're going to have a fruit tree that's going to make fruits like its own kind. Asher zaro bo al haaretz vahichen, which they planted into the ground, and so it was so. Now I want to explain to you like this, Rabotai. Listen to this very carefully. Jigarik, Hashem on the third day of creation tells the vegetation, the trees, how they're supposed to function. Can you tell me, Jigarik, you're on mute, you could take yourself off mute for a second. Can you tell me, how does an apple tree become an apple tree? Why is it so complicated?
It's the seed. I mean, I'm
planting the seed in the soil, planting the tree.
Oh, excellent. That's all it is. You got it.
Apple tree seed, no?
Correct. It's a seed. Stop right there. It's a very small seed, correct? From that small seed, you got a tree that comes out. From that tree, you get fruits that come out. Agreed or not? Hashem tells the vegetation, when I want you guys to sprout, but when you guys sprout, I want you guys to also be able to make seeds from yourself. So afterwards, we're going to be able to take those seeds, plant them elsewhere, and again, you're going to have either fruit trees or vegetable bushes, right, or whatever you're going to want to make. You with me or not?
Yep.
Comes the Torah teaches you something very fascinating. Remember, who's Hashem speaking to? Jigari? He's speaking to something which is an inanimate object, something that cannot speak, something that cannot move on its own. It might have some form of life, but it's not something like a cat or a dog or animals, correct? It's below them. It's inanimate. If something like that, with a small seed, is something great, like an apple tree, for example, is able to come out, listen to this very carefully. How much more so when you're dealing with a human being, us? When we make a small decision, it doesn't matter what it's going to be. Whether you make a small investment, correct? From that small investment, what comes out from it? A great investment eventually. If a person, correct, if he smokes a little bit, eventually that smoking is going to kill him eventually, because he has more ta'avot, more desires to do it. Whatever you're going to take. Same thing comes when it comes to what? When it comes to serving Hashem. Our small decisions that we make every single day, and I don't care where you're going to be, whether you're going to be in Miami or in Mexico or in your own bathroom or in your own room, those small decisions that we make, that's going to be able to make the outcome of who we're going to become. But we don't see it like that. Now I'm going to give you an example. I was in a plane, correct? I had two options. To either watch TV, right? They give you that screen, or but yeah, they give you that screen. To watch a movie for whatever, I don't know how long the ride was, 2 hours or 3 hours, right? Or to go to sleep or to learn. Now you might think, okay, Rabbi, okay, watch the movie for 2 hours, 3 hours. What's going to happen? Nothing wrong is going to happen, correct? But we don't understand that that decision is your downfall. Just like you understand planting a seed into the ground and comes a tree from it, from this one movie, a lot of wrong things could also come out from it. You guys are with me?
It grows, it compounds.
Correct.
The same way the roots do in a tree. Starts as a small seed, but then
But do we understand this?
No.
Now, when you have if you have a spare minute, what do you do with that spare minute? Are you on your phone just, going through the reels, or you're trying to do something productive?
Depends on the time of day.
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're waiting for the bus, you're waiting for a client. It doesn't really matter, Jigarik. If you want to become great, you gotta do extraordinary things. You have to do things that other people don't do. Now, we don't understand that small decisions, when you make the right small decisions, it can make you a great person. But, however, when you make the small decision and the wrong decision, not only do you not become great, you know what you prevent? You prevent the real jihad from really coming into being. You kill your potential. We don't understand that these small decisions that we make makes who we're going to become. They say whatever you eat, that's what you become, correct? Yes? However you speak, whoever you listen to, that's what you're going to become. All these things affect us. We have to understand we have a very great responsibility in making the right decisions. Now, especially if you are married, you have to be even more careful. Why? If I have 5 minutes in the day and I waste my time, my kids pick up on it. What are they going to do, Jigarik? Or let's put it I'll give you another case. If right now you are with your friends, correct? And you are always careful in your house never to curse. But in front of your friends, you're not careful, you curse. You don't know that your kids can pick up on this one time. Something's going to get to them. Oh, your father curses. That's going to affect them. Oh, you never thought, what do you mean? I have to worry about, the whole thing going in 360 back to my children? 100%. The decisions that we make takes a very great effect. Not what's only going to be with us, also what's going to be with our children. And that's what you got to, what's mean DNA? Just like you pass your blood, your DNA, the cells to your children, also when it comes to character traits, also passes down. So if you're able to overcome temptation and all these things like that, you are able to make it easier for your children. That is very important. Whenever we have the opportunity to go ahead and make the right decisions, we should, even if it's hard. Even if it's hard, Jigarik. Now I'll tell you, right now we're going into the summer, correct? Where unfortunately, the way people, especially women, the way they decide to dress, it's very inappropriate. Right? Over here you'll see them righteous women. Over there you see them on a whole different level. That over there is wrong because you are number one. You have your children with you. Your daughters are going to want to become better than you. So if the mother wears her skirt above her knees, the daughter is going to wear it even above that line. Get it? 2 inches down below the waist. That's a problem. So that's why we have to be very careful when it comes to making decisions. It's like this tree. You think you didn't do anything, but you're planting a little seed and let it grow. You gotta see what's gonna happen. And then we wonder why our kids went a certain direction. Very simple. How does the saying go? Look at the apple. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, correct?
From the tree,
Look at the parents, see the children, look at the parents, and so on and so forth. But the question is like this, you got it. Everything that I'm saying now is very nice. This is only good as long as you are listening to me right now. But once we get off this call, the truth is the Yetzer Hara kicks in, correct? So how do you do it? How does one go about making the right decision and staying away from the wrong decisions? You have an idea, Jigarik?
You build the right roots. You
build
grow
the
the
right
right roots.
I think Jigarik, at this age, I think our roots are already crooked, no? I think there's
Rabbi, you build fences, Rabbi. You build fences.
fences, yeah. What's the fence good? You ever seen roots, how they grow? You ever see trees, they'll break your fence down with you, Joey. Okay.
I guess.
That's a good point, though.
Rabotai, and I'm gonna read for you. There is a Mishnah in Pirkei Avot. The Mishnah states in the name of Ben Azai. Ben Azai says, "Haviratz verodim lekem mitzvah shiner benecha kala." Run and chase. Listen to the language, you got it. Run and chase to fulfill a mitzvah that seems light in your eyes. Excuse me, kivi shata noheg b'chamura. Just like you would do with something that is severe. Let me ask you a question. Would you eat bread on Pesach we just passed?
Of course not.
Why not?
Because it cuts you from the next world.
Okay.
Because my parents
It's against the law. It's against the law.
didn't eat bread. If my parents ate bread, I probably eat bread too. No, Peter.
Good point. It's in our core because that's what we started with. Even for as long
Because
as I
you
go.
understand the stringency of it. You understand the severeness of it. You understand that, correct? He says over here, a lot of us, we don't understand these small mitzvot. Meaning when you're making the small decisions, Jigarik, to go and do the right thing, that you have to chase, that you have to take serious as you will do with something that is greater than that. So if you're looking at eating bread and Passover as something that's, wow, it's not so bad, Jigarik. Because that is done how many times? How many days in a week you have Pesach?
8 days.
In America. In Israel you have 7 days, correct?
Right.
Out of 365 days, okay, besides you ate bread, chas v'shalom, let's just say. But what happens to the other days of the year when we're making the wrong decisions constantly? It's not only 7 days, it's every single moment in our life. But we don't understand that is what holds us back from growing. That's what Ben Azai says you should chase the small things. Meaning, go after the smallest decision. Even if right now, you're sitting at home, right? And you have an opportunity to speak Lashon Hara, which is not a small thing. But you make that decision not to speak Lashon Hara. You don't understand because of you not wanting to speak Lashon Hara. Now nobody else is going to speak Lashon Hara. And you're going to only build off of that. Okay? So that's what he says, you should run, you should chase it down. Just like you look at something which is more severe. However, he continues and he says, listen to this. V'have boreach. Here we go. And you should run away b'chol kochachecha, with all your strength, min ha'avera, from a sin, avim hi nir'et beinecha avera kala. Listen to this very carefully. He says when it comes to sin, you should run away from sin with all your strength, even if in your eyes it seems like a little sin. You ready for this? When I have free time, or I have an apple in my hands, or a water, and I don't want to bless the bracha, correct? Big deal, it's a small sin. Comes Ben Azai, he says, run away. You gotta run like you would run from fire. You gotta look at a sin as poison. You with me, Jigarik? People don't understand this. When the point being over here is, when you have an opportunity to make the right decision and you don't make the right decision, that's going to weigh you down. I give an example. You're supposed to wake up 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I don't know what time you go and pray with Hashem, correct? You woke up at 9 o'clock. That small decision just ruined your whole day. Why? Because now you backtracked the whole day. Now everything went 1 hour later. You understand? But if you make the correct decision early in the morning, everything goes for you the way you want it to go. This is what means to making the correct decisions. Because decisions that we make shape our lives. And it doesn't matter where you're going to be, whether you're going to be in New York, Miami, doesn't matter. A person has to always, he always has to be awake. He also always has to be on guard. And now you have to understand, he says over here something very fascinating, and he says, when you do a mitzvah, when you make the right decision, for example, you want to wake up early, or you don't want to curse, when you do that mitzvah, you know what's going to happen right after that? The next decision you're going to make is going to be easier. Do you know why? Because we have a concept that's called mitzvah goreret mitzvah. One mitzvah draws with it another mitzvah. It makes it easier for you. However, he says the other way it also works. When you make the wrong decisions and a person chas v'shalom chooses to sin, you know what happens? Avera goreret avera. Another sin draws another sin to it. Sin draws another sin. That's what becomes much harder for us to serve God. And you have to imagine for yourself for a second. Throughout the day, a person, does mitzvot sins. That's why by the time it comes to mincha or aravit, what happens, Shigarik? It's very hard to daven. It's very hard to learn. Why? Because a person is outweighed more with sin.
It's a snowball effect.
Say it again?
It's a snowball effect.
Correct? And you're drawn more after doing the wrong things. But where did all this start from? From making the right or wrong decisions. That's why we have to be very careful when it comes to making decisions. We don't understand. Let me ask you a question, Garik. If a person makes a sin, chas v'shalom, correct? What is his punishment? Can you tell me?
Depends on the sin, Rabbi.
Any sin. I don't care. Give me any sin. Forget about depends on the sin. Any sin. What's his punishment?
His punishment is another sin.
Who Elon said that, correct. Jagarik, people think Hashem is going to come, he's going to strike you down, he's going to leave you outside, a car is going to run you over just because you sin right. No, it doesn't. You know what the punishment is? Another sin. Do you know why? Another sin darkens your soul. It leaves you with this void. You don't understand why am I feeling in such a way? So I'm not Jagarik. Are you sure? You look confused. Yes, you're with me?
Rabbi, it's the same way. It's the same way when I do a good deed. Let's say.
Oh, one second. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there.
Oh, okay.
When a person does a sin, the punishment is another sin. He'll get punished later on, chas v'shalom. But the punishment is doing another sin. But the problem is, it doesn't stop until you stop it. And it's very hard to stop something. For example, if a person falls from the 100th floor, it's very hard to stop yourself in the middle. But where did it all stem from?
From the first sin.
From the wrong decision that you made to go ahead and do that sin.
Right.
You understand? Somebody came and said, Rabbi, he told me he was in a certain place. I'm not going to say no names. He went to a certain place. A religious guy. He didn't think it was going to be so bad. But he said, Rabbi, it was not normal because he said, I don't know how it went from being in the hotel, to being in the pool, to being in the beach, to being with girls like half naked. He's like
in the hot tub with them.
No, I don't say, but he said he's like,
tell him to stop playing games.
He became desensitized every single time. He came to the hotel, he felt bad. Then after he said, listen, okay, come with us to the pool. Then the pool. Then the beach, and then he was amongst women that he would never think in his life he would be there. But that's how it starts. It starts with that wrong decision, you understand? It starts with that wrong decision. But same thing, go the other way around, Jagarik. When you make the correct decisions, when you make the correct decisions, you are able to go. It's going to bring you another mitzvah and another mitzvah and another mitzvah. I'm going to give you a nice story, Jagarik. I was in Hollywood in the synagogue over there. So you know me, I like looking at the book section, whatever. So I see one book I can't find. I see one book I cannot find. It's called Ed Lasot. I've never seen this book, but it's a beautiful book. So I said to myself, I have to get it. I look at the cover. It says over there 770 like literally like 770 Lubavitch Center, Judaica, 770 Judaica of Lubavitch. I said, okay, fine. I asked my brother, how far is this? He says 30 minutes away. I said, no problem. Sunday morning, after I had breakfast with my wife, she wanted to go shopping with her sister. I said, you go shopping, I'm going to take Uber, and I'm going to go to the bookstore. I get to the bookstore, Jigarik. So that's where he bought the book. I look for the book. It's not, you can't find it. Sold out, he told me. And I'm thinking, I just came over here to the bookstore. I traveled so long. I'm like, so let me buy other books in the meantime. As I was there, a woman walks in. Not Sephardi, I don't know, maybe I don't know what she was. Comes, she tells the guy behind the counter, she lost her mother a week ago. So now it's a Chabad guy, so he starts telling her about if she saying Kaddish or is there a son saying Kaddish. Can we say it? Like, he starts speaking to her. Then he asks her, do you have a mezuzah in your house? You hear? She says, no, what mezuzah? What's a mezuzah? I don't know what's a mezuzah. Maybe a woman in her 50s. No, what's a mezuzah? He says, how many doors do you have in the house? She's like, I have a one bedroom, the front door and my bedroom, that's all. So he says, okay, I have mezuzah over here for $80. Each mezuzah, $80. She's like, $80? I'm not paying $80. So he's like, it's your insurance, you must have it, it's very important. And so on and so forth. He's trying to convince her to buy it. I took his ladder. I'm looking. One second. I had a ladder of this. I'm looking at the books and I'm hearing this whole conversation. So I tell the guy. I said to him. I come up to him. I got a few books. I put it on the counter and I speak to him in Hebrew so she doesn't understand me. I said, do me a favor. Give her the mezuzot and I'll take care of it. I said, don't worry about it. Just give her the mezuzot. Why are you going back and forth? So he said, I'll give you one mezuzah for free. And also another one is on the house, whatever, on the store. Whatever, no problem. He gave her 2 mezuzot. Eventually she left. He comes to me and look what the guy tells me. He says, it's nuts, he says. How Hashem brought you, look at the divine providence. Hashem brought you from another, it's literally was like a 20-minute drive, it's far. Miami is like open road, you gotta drive. He said, he brought you from there. You wanted to do one mitzvah. You wanted to go and buy a book, but little did you know, Hashem brought you over here to help this woman. You understand? Making the right decisions will only bring more mitzvot one after another. And besides the reward that a person is going to get in the next world, the reward for making a mitzvah in this world is another mitzvah. And can I explain to you what means the mitzvah, Jigarik? I was speaking to my son and his friend. Whatever, I'm not going to get into a whole conversation. I'm always knocking sense into their head. But one of his friends told me, I said, what are you doing? Nothing. How can you not be? I said, okay, so, but what are you doing right now at this moment? Nothing. I said, what do you mean nothing? Nothing. I'm literally sitting on my couch and doing nothing. Jigarik, you know me, man. Jigarik, this poor kid. Yo, Jigarik, my son's. I said, I want to tell you something right now. I said, right now, at this moment, you are losing few $1 million as we speak. Chas v'sholom. He said, I said to him, I'm telling you right now, Hashem is removing from your bank account millions of dollars that you're never going to get in your life again. Rabbi, why would you say such a thing? I said, I'm explaining to you why. How do you sit and do that? The whole world, people are working. I don't care, do something. People are working, exercising, making a living, learning. How can you sit and do nothing? I explained to both of them, I said, listen to me very carefully. You guys don't understand that when you do nothing, you are losing that account, not only in dollars, I was trying to bring it in dollar form, but in mitzvot. When you're not doing mitzvot, you are losing millions of mitzvot that you're going to be able to get reward for in the next world. And this is what we don't see, you understand? We don't make that calculation. You have to put the sins and the mitzvot on scale. Is it worth it for me right now really to do nothing? Like, come on, you could learn. I mean, how old are these boys? 14, 15 years old. Do something with your life. Why be bums, chas v'shalom? You understand? When I brought it to him in that perspective that he's losing money, he's like, Rabbi, I never thought of it that way. That's a very big problem. Because in reality, when you make the wrong choices, it costs you millions of mitzvot that you could have accumulated. You understand? That's why it's never ever worse, chas v'shalom, doing an avera. Why? When a person does a sin, God forbid, we're all human, but when you do a sin, understand, not only Jigarik do you go ahead and you're going to be accountable for the sin, but also you lost the opportunity to do mitzvot and accumulate a lot of wealth, you understand? It's like making the wrong investment. This is exactly what it is. That's why we have to be very, very careful when it comes to making decisions. Don't think by you making the wrong decision, that's it. And you know what's the proof, you got it? I was sitting there, whatever, I was sitting beside. You know me, I can't be quiet, I can't be quiet, you got it. So somebody's on their phone while having breakfast, whatever. I'm like, one reel after another. I said, look, with all due respect, you're still a young girl, whatever it was. I said, listen, with all due respect, you get married, you do this, you ain't gonna have no finger. What are you, why are you on your phone? But honestly, but you see that's what it is. The reels today, Jigari, this is really called sin drags with another sin. You watch one reel, you want to watch another one. You watch one reel, you want another one. Before you know, you kill 3 hours of your day.
It rots your brain.
But if you stop yourself from even going on it, then it's a whole different ballgame. Now you could at least go on and learn Torah. At least use the media for the right reasons. But this is the problem, Jigari. Today, unfortunately, this is what the world is facing. We're facing this lack of decision making, and you know who's going to pay for it in the end? Who, Jigari? Can you tell me who's going to be responsible for all this in the end?
We are.
Who's the we? Jigari, you said it so beautiful. Who's the we?
The Jewish
Person that's doing.
You speak like a very big rabbi now, Jigari.
We and our children, Rabbi, our children.
Forget about your children, Joey. You're going to be responsible. Do you know why? Because we, as the parents, are going to be responsible. As the rabbis, we're going to be responsible. As role models, we're going to be responsible. Do you know why, Jigari? Because we never showed them what is the right way to go about. You understand? We never showed them what it means to make the correct decision. You know why, Jigari? Because by us, everything, let them do it. Don't touch him. Don't bother him. Let him. What's going to be, Jigari? What's going to be? What's going to be with the next generation? You know what's going to be? A big zero, Jigari. What's going to be? Nobody wants to do anything. Nobody wants to work. Nobody. You tell it today. I was somewhere, the father said, take out the garbage. Why I have to take it out? What you mean, why you have to? You know, Jigari, Jigari, this, I'm telling you, so many things happen. Somebody said, Jigari, listen to this, you're not going to believe it. Somebody said, is my father coming there today? Whatever, we're in a certain place. I said, well, what does your father have to do? Let him come. What do you care? It's your father, no? He said, no, when my father comes, he embarrasses me. Look, a child, look how they speak already. When my father comes, what do you think? Your friends are your friends? You think your friend's going to be like your father's there for you? Right. But this is what we're facing. How are you going to be able to change it? And not to sit there and argue with your children. You got to explain to them. You got to show them the correct decision pattern making. But it starts with who, Jigarik? Not your wife, Jiggy, with yourself. Don't even tell this to your wife what I'm teaching you right now. She doesn't want to hear this. Believe me, they don't want to hear this. They want to watch movies. They think they're the next Jennifer Lopez. I don't know who's the next hot star right now, but they think that's what I remember back then. That's what they think they are until they get 90, 80, and they see nobody cares for them, you understand? But we as fathers, as men, we have to be able to make the right decisions. If you're going to be able to make the right decision, at least when you're in your house, you take a book, you learn the book, you learn something with your children, I'm telling you, Jiggy, little by little, the kids are going to pick up, and what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen, Jigarik? They're going to become great. Their decision-making part is going to be easier. My father does it, I'm also going to do it. This is what makes my father happy, I'm going to want to do it, you understand? Children are always looking to make things, to do things that's going to make us happy. That's why when you're in front of your children, I don't want to say this, Jiggy, but I have to say this. Phone is the last thing you want to have on the table when you're with your family. You understand? The last thing you want to have. You got to take something, check something out, go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. In an important meeting, you'll never put a phone on the table, will you or not? When you deal, no, you make sure that it's an important meeting.
Rabbi, I asked for a friend, how do you explain this to your wife?
Explain what?
This part.
I just told you not to explain it to her.
No phones for how? How do you explain it?
You stop using your phone when you're at home. When you're on the table with your kids, you stop using your phone. You start asking them. Speak to them. Ask them how their day is. Tell them about your day. Speak. You got it. We have to converse. Today, nobody speaks. Everything's through the internet. Nobody wants to speak today. That's the problem.
Don't worry about your wife. Worry about yourself first.
Correct. Because Joe, you know,
like they say, put your mask on first before you put somebody else's mask on.
Right. Very nice, Joe. Very nice, Joe. You know why, Joey? You know why you have to worry about yourself, Jigari, and then after your wife? In reality, you got it. Not every single woman is going to care. Honestly, I'm not chas v'shalom, raining your parade or anybody else's parade. Not every single woman is like our mothers or our grandmothers where they stood there by their husband. Today, something doesn't go your way. I've seen it many times. Divorce, lawsuit, take your money, take your children. Yeah, God forbid, but this is what we're facing. So really, we have to work on ourselves. That's the real truth. We have to work on ourselves. And anyway, Rabotai, I wanted to do a few halachot. I'm not going to be able to get a chance. Bezrat Hashem, we'll probably catch up on it tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, I'll take it. If not, we will conclude.
Rabbi.
Yeah, Joey. Yeah, Elon.
So did you end up paying for the mezuzahs, or the guy tried to take your mitzvah?
No, of course he's not going to take my mitzvahs. Of course he's not going to
So
take
what you say, one is on the house and one is for free. That means you ain't do nothing.
No, he made me pay. He made me pay. I bought more books. No, he made me pay. Of course I was going to pay. Elon, you have to understand. I want to tell you something, Elon. Elon. Today, people invest in the wrong things. You understand? What do I mean?
100%.
It's important to invest in everything, market, whatever you want to invest. But don't forget to invest in mitzvot. For a few dollars that you're going to eat it down, or you're going to drain it down the drain anyway, you could buy yourself olam haba, you understand? Never ever overlook that. That if you see somebody, you see somebody's tefillin, you can arrange it or you can pay for it, get it done. You see somebody needs X, Y, and Z, get it done. You have any idea, they have a mezuzah, every time they kiss the mezuzah, the mitzvahs on your account. In a synagogue, there was a synagogue they were building, they were selling mezuzah, do you hear? Jiggy, it went up to 40,000, 50,000. So one guy said 60,000. One second. So when he sold it, he said, no, that was only for one mezuzah for the front door. Now we're going to sell the others also. When it comes to this, people pay a lot of money. People don't really have to know what you do. You want to go ahead
but that's also everlasting.
Yeah, good. I'm saying, but you don't have to pay 60,000. You could also pay 5,000, 1,000. You could afford 80,000.
Get down payment for the lineage. You got the family name over there. This mezuzah was donated, but
fine. I agree.
They put the name, son.
I hear. Fine. Okay.
But let me ask you another question, Rabbi.
Yeah.
There's a trip organized this Saturday night to Rav Shaila.
Okay.
You down to go?
No. I just came back.
Saturday night,
I'm not a person
you'll be back Monday. It's quicker trip than Miami, son.
No, I can't. Elon, It's not for me, Elon. It's not for me.
You got a big tzaddik, Rav Shaila. It's his yard site.
I'm gonna make you my messenger. You could go.
Hey, where is this?
I'll send you the details, Jigarik. It's in Hungary, Budapest.
I heard that you can go to Step Down on a Monday. It's the same. It's a student, no?
That's his brother.
Yeah.
That's like a plan B.
We'll go with plan B for now.
But Rabbi, I was gonna say that there's sometimes I avert to do like I want to do I don't want to do a bad thing. When I avert it and I feel good about myself, I feel like I'm like a soldier who passed like the next level. You know what I mean? Like I'm on the mission. I feel greater. I feel enlightened. I feel better about myself.
That's exactly it.
It opens the door for me to do more mitzvot.
100%, that's
away from more
exactly
bad things.
But it comes with Joey. It comes with that strength. A lot of people don't have that strength to make the right decision. You understand?
Yeah.
We are very influenced by everything around us. We have to be able to use the strength within us. Hashem gave us that free choice. Try to go ahead and use that strength to be able to overcome the wrong decision. And you'll see, Joey, you did it one time, but you don't understand what it feels like when you're doing it constantly. You feel like an angel. You feel on another level altogether. It's not normal. You want to speak Lashon, you don't speak Lashon Hara. You want to curse, you don't curse. You want to eat not kosher, you don't eat not kosher. You want to say something bad, the less you do it, the more power you have, you understand? This is why it's very important to make the right. But you know who's going to buy, you know who's going to feed off of you? Your family, which is the most important thing. Then people around you are going to start seeing that, you understand? You come to shul Jigarik, right? Not you Jigarik, Baruch Hashem Jigarik doesn't speak. But you come to shul and you think, what is the big deal if I'm speaking or not? It's a very big deal. You stop speaking, you know how many people you get to stop speaking? And all their dividends, Jigarik, what happens? It goes on your head. For what? You're just doing the right. This is it, Rabotai, this is it. We are shaped by our decisions, so we have to make sure that we make the right decisions, Jigarik. Okay?
not only are we shaped, the people around us are shaped by those decisions.
100%.
So, I
100%.
gotta go, guys. I love you.
I'll see you, Joey. I'll
Thank
see you. I'll see you, Joey.
Okay.
100%.
So what are you saying?
Jigari, we're saying not only are we shaped, but also the people around us are shaped. I agree with you, Jigari. I agree with you. That's why I don't believe in the concept, Jigari, of ever telling the wife what to do, Jigari. Your wife is not your chas v'shalom, your slave. You understand? Your wife is not, she's your queen. She's not your dog, chas v'shalom. She's not your children. Your child, you can tell what to do. Your wife, you have to respect.
Become the slaves.
Say it again?
Hold on, she ain't your assistant?
No, assistant something else, Elon, but not to, you can't.
So you tell your assistant what to do? No, you tell him.
No, Elon. No, you understand? Like, for example.
This is where me and you go upside down, because you say you got to be a man in the situation, and now you say you can't tell nothing to the woman.
Be a man for yourself, but don't tell your wife what to do.
If you ain't gonna be a man, they're gonna walk all over you.
I'm explaining to you. If you, how you gonna be?
I'm asking for a friend, by the way. You gotta just text me.
How do you become a man, Elon? When you make the strong, right decisions, your wife picks up on it. Without you saying a word, she's gonna understand. You understand?
Oh.
If you're gonna say, I'm not going here, I'm not doing this, I'm not speaking Lashon, what's gonna happen? She's also gonna stop. But if you tell her, always preaching to her and never doing it yourself, she's not gonna want to listen to you. Why should she listen to you? Yes, you got it. Ilya, I'll see you guys.
Beautiful as always. Thank you,
Rabbi,
Rabbi.
that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
See you tomorrow, Rabbi John. Thank you,
I'll see you guys.
Rabbi, take care, John. I'm Jigarik.
I'll see you guys.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys. Bye.
Welcome back, baby. Welcome back.
Thank you guys. I'll see you.